we know we're going in there to host the party, and that Buckcherry is good time rock and roll, and we service that. But we always take everybody on a journey.
Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Belgian Jasper. If this is your first time in the channel, hit subscribe right now.
Josh, thank you so much for your time today. Exciting times for a number of reasons. Lots of shows coming your way, a couple of shows already done. Last album cycle, same thing. You guys were, I think, the first band that I talked to at that time that could actually play some shows before the album came out, because we were at the tail end of the pandemic. So, how different is this run compared to that one?
It's a lot different, because, like you said, we don't have the pandemic stuff to deal with. I mean, that was a lot to navigate through, with the testing and the, trying not to cancel shows and all that kind of stuff. It was really hard, But when we did play those shows at the beginning of the Hellbound tour, people really grateful. They really wanted to get out. You could feel it, and. So it was a really successful run. We did about 250 shows on that record, and then we started writing for the new record in little spots when we would have time off from the Hellbound tour, and then Volume 10 is our 10th record, and it's going to drop June 2nd, and it's so good,
Yeah. And it's let's just go straight into that. What you just said. So 10th record. 10 is this magical number for a lot of people, for others not at all. Are you generally like a nostalgic person? Do you like to celebrate milestones, or are you like, if this was number 9 or 11, I don't really care?
I usually don't. I'm working so much, and I really work on staying in the moment, and I don't look back. I don't look too far forward, so usually I don't, but like 10 is like a big thing. 10 records is, not a lot of bands get to do that, and so we're really aware of that, and so this is a pretty special moment for us, and we're just celebrating in the way we always celebrate, where we go out and do a lot of shows and be Buckcherry, but because of Hellbound and Volume 10, the songs are just, the records are so good that it's really elevated the overall show. It's like, it's really the show that I always wanted to get to, as far as, in my opinion, like an arena rock show, you know what I mean? Like where every song is good, and so that's exciting.
I obviously had a chance to listen to the full album already, and when I was thinking back to the previous cycle, and I got to speak to Stevie about that. He was like, you know what? Although the album is done now, I'm listening more to rockabilly again. And then, bam! I put on the new album, and although that might not really have, it maybe have not worked itself into the singles that have been released so much, but the album doesn't take long to show some of those, rockabilly influences that came into the sound. That's cool to see. Were there elements for you that were a little newer? Because this feels like a much more varied album than I liked Hellbound, but I feel like this is a more varied album as a whole. Like, did you bring different elements, ingredients to the mix this time?
When we started writing for a record, we always start with a clean slate, and it's just where we're at, like you were saying, that the pandemic had a lot of negative vibes going on. There was the pandemic, there was the election, all the stuff in the United States was just and I'm glad we had that record to focus on, but now it's like everything's opening up, and everything feels good, and you kind of want to make a really good time rock and roll record, and we always want to make a record that has a lot of dynamics. So you have songs like Feels Like Love and Pain and One and Only. Those songs are pretty cool, but then you have Let's Get Wild and Good Time, and that's like quintessential Buckcherry, and Turn It On and stuff like that. So I think we just, for the most part, wanted to have, you know, a positive vibe on this record.
Yeah. You mentioned a couple of songs already. One and Only is another song, just like the opening track, This and That have that rockabilly vibe a bit. A song you didn't mention, I think, just now is With You, which for me kind of stood out because the previous album was almost like a love letter to AC/DC. You know, in the artwork, in the clothes you wear in certain videos, the instruments that are being used, and obviously also the sound. With You, for me, getting some Scorpions vibes at times. Any truth to that?
Yeah, I mean, I came in the studio that day, and Marty and Stevie were working on this song, and then I heard those guitar runs, you know, like, man, this is Buckcherry's Scorpions, you know, like I didn't really, honestly, I didn't really get it. I thought it was a little much for Buckcherry.
Okay.
And then I wrote this, you know, I wrote the lyrics and the melodies, and then came back and we put it all together, and we were like, this is awesome, you know. This is a really cool flavor for us, something kind of off the beaten path and cool. And it works. It's really nice on the record, and you know. And then we had a lot of like templates like that. Like I told them, Marty and Stevie, I was like, Marti Frederiksen, the guy who produces, and he also co-writes a lot of songs with us. And I said, I want Buckcherry's Hysteria. You know, I am obsessed with Def Leppard's Hysteria, and I want Buckcherry's Hysteria. And they're like, cool. And so they went off and they made Feels Like Love music, and then they sent it to me, and I was like, this is amazing, you know. And then we got that song together, and wow, what a really great part of the set now and the record. It's just a real moment.
Thanks for clarifying, Marty, for people that might not know the team behind the scenes, but Marty is more than that, right? Like Marty is almost like a sixth member of the band, and
he is,
and has worked many times with you,
Yeah, he goes way back to 15. That's when we first met him. We co-wrote Sorry together, and then we have such a history, and like it was so great to get back with him on Hellbound and this record. I don't ever want to do a record without him. He's just he really understands what's special about BC. He brings out the best in us. He's super talented on his own, and we always rise to the occasion when we're in the room with him. You know, it feels like we go to a new level too, you know, so that's cool.
Yeah. And listening to you just now, but also in other, you know, interviews or commentary tracks and so on, listening to you guys, it sounds like Marty's superpower really is that finding that thing that at first looks very weird for Buckcherry, but then when all things are said and done, it becomes a really cool anthem, like you were describing earlier, that at first you were like, oh, I don't know about this, but then giving its treatment, it's like, oh, wow, you found something that we wouldn't have found without you. Is that kind of what his power is?
Well, you know, songwriting is a very intimate thing, you know, and it's a very delicate process. And Marty has been in the room with so many great artists that he has a knack for kind of feeling out the room. And then, you know, he's so talented musically as well that he just kind of figures out the sweet spot, if you know, and we just have a great relationship. And he likes to work, you know, we like to work, so it works well, you know. Even say we work very efficiently and fast, and it's pretty cool. Like I think he's going to write a book about his life, and he's like, yeah, there's going to be there's going to be a part in there about, you know, these sessions. And I go, cool, man, that makes me so happy, you know.
Awesome. And all of that, he remains friends with you guys despite all of the impersonations that Stevie has done over the years of Marty.
Yeah, I mean, it's all out of love, you know.
Exactly.
Those impersonations. It's because we love him so much.
I feel like going out tonight. I got some money 'cause I just got paid.
The lineup seems to be in a healthier spot than it's ever been for Buckcherry, and that you're started to build a couple of years ago on something quite stable that you can continue to build on. Is that just me looking on the outside in, or is there some truth to that?
Oh, you're absolutely right. You know, Stevie has been with me. Well, I've known him since I was 19, but he's been in BC since the end of 2004, and so long time. And Kelly's been in the band a long time now, over 7 years, and Francis Ruiz, our drummer, is like such an amazing guy. Like, not only a great player, just a lovely bandmate. Just great. And I think he's in 4 years or 5 years now. And Billy's like the newest guy, and he's just a joy as well. And the band's in the best place it's ever been.
Yeah, I think Billy joined after everything was written and done for Hellbound, but was he able to put his mark on this one then?
We wrote a couple songs together, or co-wrote a couple songs, he and I and Stevie, and they didn't make the record, but that's okay. I mean, he's up against Marti Frederiksen when he brings this stuff in. It's just all we do is we go with the best songs for sure, and he knows that, and we'll hopefully do more co-writes in the future. It's just the way it is right now.
On this record, definitely also on Hellbound, and sometimes that is in lyrics of songs, sometimes that is in certain scenes in video clips, but Buckcherry's got this kind of sort of brought onto yourself this image of we're the feel-good party band and we've got some fun songs, and obviously when songs like Crazy Bitch go like super viral or become a hit, that fuels that. But there are elements have always been there, and they're definitely here today, of if you dig a little deeper, if you listen a little closer, there's deeper meanings, there's some social commentary even, that, let's be honest, for 90% of your audience is going to go over their head, or they're going to stay at that surface level. Is that for you as an artist? Do you look at that and go like, well, that's just kind of the brand we created and we have to live with that? Or is there some like, I wish more people would allow us to put those elements a little bit more in the spotlight? Like, how do you feel about that as the artist?
Yeah, there's always going to be those people who are into just one speed, and like you're saying, and there's a lot of dynamics to every Buckcherry record, but you have to embrace hits, because hits allow you to have a long career and get to do this, and so we embrace that. It's like, we know we're going in there to host a party, and that, Buckcherry's good time rock and roll, and we service that. But, we always take everybody on a journey. We do the mid-tempo songs and the ballads and everything live, and everybody gets into our deeper catalog. And especially now, where nothing is radio driven anymore. It's all Spotify now, and going on YouTube and seeing videos, and people get music way different ways now than they used to. So, we have a lot of young people that are getting into us for the first time, and they have all their favorites that aren't singles, and so that's really cool. And so, we have a lot of what I call frequent flyers. They come to many shows, and that's really cool. I mix up the set every night. I always keep the usual suspects like Sorry and Crazy Bitch and Lit Up and Riding and, all that. But now we have so much ammo with all the other songs that people are like, damn, what's this song? Feels Like Love. It's, or Pain. Pain is like a big part of the set. We just started playing that live. So it's all good.
Some of those songs, like Lit Up, for example, was already a hit over 20 years ago, 25 years ago.
Yes.
You said, usually not too nostalgic. 10 was a special number for sure. Do you at all allow you to, in your busy schedule, take a step back and go like, whoa, we've come a long way, and that needs to be celebrated?
I do. I get quiet with myself every day on the road. I do a little meditation. I think about the scope of everything, and I'm just really content and proud of the the catalog and everything. Are we going to do anything special? Getting on stage and touring, doing hundreds of shows on the record is what we do. That's us honoring, the time and the record, and that's why we're out on the road to promote it, you know. So nothing other than what we do, you know. But I mean, every night, you know, I thank the audience for going 24 years with us and 10 records, and everybody's into it, you know. We have now families that are going to shows.
Yeah, for sure. So let's wrap us up with all the stuff that we can look forward to. You toured a lot on the last album, but you're touring a lot on this one too. There's a lot of shows coming your way. You're gonna be extremely busy. For everybody watching this video that is getting ready for the release of your album, what should they expect? What should they keep their fingers crossed for on this run of shows?
Yes, I just want to say to everybody, first and foremost, thanks for all the love over the years, those of you who are into Buckcherry, and I want you to go out and you can pre-order the record right now on all places where you buy music. It's called Volume 10, and it's so good. And you can get 3 songs right now: Good Time, Let's Get Wild, and Shine Your Light. And then I just encourage everybody to come out to the rock show. You know, we based our reputation on our live show, and we're having so much fun, and we're out with Skid Row right now, and the shows are selling out all over the place. So come out and have a good time.
Awesome. Josh, I want to thank you so much for your time today. I really appreciate it. I know it's busy days, hectic times, but I do appreciate you, answering my questions today, and I look forward to seeing you guys on a stage again soon. Have a fantastic rest of the day, and I wish you guys all the best with the release of this really cool new album.
You as well, man. Thank you, and it was a good interview, good questions. I appreciate it.
You are awesome for watching this video. Click right here to see more content like it and subscribe to the channel.